Big RonFez.net party the other night, thanks to Mikey Boy, Just John, and was it Bobby Pantera who put that together?
Yes.
Because I noticed he wasn't being thanked in any of the threads.
Those three guys, yeah. Bobby had a big part of it as well.
Was that right?
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to see him get a little more love from those people.
Yeah, well, Just John seems to overshadow people sometimes.
Why is that? Dynamic personality?
I don't know.
No, that can't be it. So it was a great time at Calico Jack's on 42nd Street.
By the way, I did go to McFadden's.
Oh, yeah, it's right next door. Those two clubs are basically connected.
They're owned by the same people. One's an Irish pub, one's a Mexican pub.
Why don't they knock the wall down and have a big enough place?
I don't know.
So I saw a lot of the anti-stuff on RonFez.net. People upset because so many people showed up. And I just want to say, all the people that you introduced me to, Dave, all the FBA people, couldn't be nicer.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, I thought FBA represented the party well. Just cheerful and outgoing.
Oh, that Uncle Inky.
Yeah,
he
right?
sure gets the ladies.
He's great.
Yeah, he is. He's got a lot of fun.
And did you get to meet Happy Typing Girl?
I was introduced to Happy Typing Girl. Tracy brought her out for a little face-to-face. And, Dave, you've been talking about her so much. I'm ready to blast her, except for after meeting her, delightful.
Happy Typing Girl.
I would actually say this when it came to Happy Typing Girl. She's the Marion type.
Yeah.
She's the kind of gal one of you young singles should run out and go after.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. Such a nice dress, a nice outfit.
Everything about her, personality, looks, there's intelligence. And all this time I'm like, God, Dave, stop going on and on and on. Very, very wonderful young lady.
Yeah, she's kind-hearted, too.
Yeah.
Because I went on to Pal Talk after the party at like 4 o'clock in the morning, and for some reason I got red-dotted.
Who red-dotted you?
I don't know. I got banned, but Happy Typing Girl unbanned me. So I owe her a thanks for that as well. She's just a wonderful person.
I can see it now. Now I get it. Now I understand. I'm like, oh, Dave is blowing things out of proportion. But met a lot of great people out there. Now, some of the RonFez.net people, I understand, not happy.
Yeah, there was a couple complaints. GVAC. I know Frenchie had some problems as well. I guess, it was a crowded...
It was too crowded, but here's the thing. You've got to remember that this thing only got put together by a couple guys. Mikey Boy and Just John and Bobby Pantera. Everybody else stays out of it. Then it's up to them to go back and then bitch about it after not being involved with it at all before. So I know exactly how those guys feel. Yeah,
absolutely.
People demand too much, and there's a lack of coolness going on in the world.
Just go with the flow, because if you wanted a drink, you could get one. I mean, I didn't, I was always able to get one at the bar, and then you had
somehow
outside.
you got drunk.
It's not about constant drinking when you go out and see your friends.
Right.
You don't have to be shit-faced.
Yeah.
And, yes, there's always going to be new people.
Exactly. And I thought
that's always part of the fun, I thought.
The best part it was a Christmas miracle that Whackbag FBA and RonFez.net and some OpieandAnthony.net were all in the same room, and everyone was getting along.
And everybody I met was cool.
Absolutely.
And I honestly think like 99% of the people are cool, and then the 1% go back and bitch about, why wasn't I on a different side of a tape? Stop it. There's nothing on that other side.
You didn't want to be on that other side. That was
I went back to check on my coat. Some bald-headed guy grabbed me. You can't come back here. I go, my name's on the party. Oh. Just get my coat to go outside.
That was one of the security guards from the Homeless Shopping Spree. He was pretty much watching the VIP area. That's why he was probably a little testy with you.
See, you need a different term, Earl, than VIP area. VIP area, not a good name. Then people think it's something good on the other side. You need to just call it the cloak area, the coat check area.
Sitting zone. That's the way I referred to it. And you didn't want to be in the sitting zone anyway. It was more fun to be walking around.
Same. There was nothing that was on one side of the tape that wasn't on the other. Stop worrying.
They say VIP section. It was basically 3 little tables. It wasn't exactly like, half of the place was, just a brick wall went up and you go into a secret room where there's candy and prizes.
Yeah, but the best parts, I think, were actually by the bathroom or outside.
That's where I spent 99% of the night. And I'm going to do that no matter what, because you can smoke outside. Mikey Boy, how are you, my friend?
Hey, guys. First of all, I just want to call in and I want to thank everyone for coming out. I was very, very happy with the turnout. I mean, obviously, the biggest problem was it was too small of a place for it. We kind of caught off guard for the number of people who were coming. And I'm actually really happy about that because we did have people from, RonVez.net, from Whackbag, from OPNC.net, from FBA, from other places. And I don't think a lot of websites can do that where everybody feels welcome to come. And I'm so happy that people are welcome to come. And
that's a reflection of you, Mikey Boy, because you are the guy that goes out and is friends with everybody.
Oh, well. It's what we try to do. I mean, like I said, I think people got frustrated because there were just too many people there, and then it got really hard to get a beer. And I think that was the biggest problem, and people got complaining about that. And then there are also some RonFest.net people who are used to, a couple years ago, we had a much more intimate, smaller party, and John and I made a concerted effort to make this a larger thing that's open to everybody. And I think they're
Well, you don't have to put up with anybody's shit, Mikey.
Well, I mean,
start banning, red dot them.
Red dot those fuckers.
And I've tried to clarify to people when they start pointing fingers at different people that, no, really, the biggest problem was just the size of the party.
People don't know what you do, Mikey.
And then if not enough people show up, it's, well, I thought the turn was going to be bigger. What's going on? There's no happy...
Thank you.
There's a story called Goldilocks, people.
Right.
Learn from it. Not everything's going to be perfect. It was still... The more people, the merrier. It was fun as hell.
Ron, Dave was... pretty much like every 5 minutes before the thing started, Dave kept saying, do you think enough people are going to show up? Do you think are we going to have enough people? And he was really kind of stressed about it until we basically right around 9 o'clock and people just started flooding in.
Well, we really didn't plug it too much. It was you going out and plugging it on the websites, Mikey Boy. I mean, that's what he probably worried about, that we kind of left this as being your party, ran the way you wanted to. Yeah, it got a little too packed. But again, that can be a good thing. And you know what? Some of these people need to learn this from Damone. Wherever you are, act like that's the place to be. Whatever is happening, this is great. If you feel that way, you'll feel better in life.
Yeah, and I think we're just going to basically try and find a bigger bar next year.
No, Mikey, you should just walk away from this and tell him, screw it.
All right, here's Mafia Life Chris. How you doing, Chris?
Hey, what's going on, Ronnie?
Yeah.
What's up, buddies?
Hey.
Real quick, I just want to say thank you. It was great seeing you guys again. The party was awesome, Mikey. Great job.
Thanks.
Fuck everybody else, whatever they're saying. I do want to stress out one point that's been on my fucking mind since, because it's bothering me.
Okay.
Master Poe is an asshole, straight out. Okay, he put his hands on Frenchie, and I didn't like it. And I want to stress that because the party itself was fantastic, despite that. It was a lousy 10 minutes. I'm not putting any negative light on the party. It was 10 minutes, and I think that it was wrong what he did. She wanted to go say hello to you guys, and he almost was like pushing her and grabbing her. How are you going to act like that, towards a girl? Maybe she didn't want me to say nothing, but I'm outside and go running around. I says, let me call in because I think it's important for at least Poe and the public to know that was a disrespect, and I feel disrespected, and I'm sure my girlfriend does.
All right, here's Master Poe, and how are you, Master Poe?
I'm doing fine. What's going on, Chris? Yeah. All right, first of all, I didn't grab her, number one. Number two is there was 2 sections. And
I saw you, Poe.
If you're saying that I grabbed her, well, that's fine, but I didn't grab anyone. All I did was move my hand and wait for people to get out of that area because I was told by management to clear that area. Now, if someone tells me to do something, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I had Opie, I was taking care of him on the right side, and Anthony, I was taking care of him on the left side. So my job was very, very difficult. And the section, one second. Now, there was 2 security issues, and the security issue was that there was one particular person that was giving Dave a problem, okay? So that was a situation that I was told ahead of time.
Who was that,
So the
Dave?
reason why...
We had a word on the street, and I want to clarify this.
I didn't know anything about this.
Apparently, Terror old school RonFez.net member and a very large bounty hunter was coming to the party to kick my ass.
Over what?
Some sort of thing that happened at Solera's bar 4 years ago.
But why didn't you tell me? Because I know Tara very well.
Well, no, I learned about it the very last second from Bronx Johnny, and it turned out Johnny was sort of...
Blow it out of proportion.
Yes, because then I spoke to Tara personally.
Right.
And he said...
He's a gentle giant.
I have no idea what is going on.
All right, so what's the other thing, Paul?
So that one section had to be cleared out, all right? Now, for 2 hours, the management was trying to get these people out of their seats and go on the opposite side of this so-called line.
Right.
And it didn't happen. So they came up to me and they asked me, Poe, can you help out? Absolutely, no problem. I helped out. And in doing so, I'm getting yelled at because I'm trying to do what someone is asking me to do.
So
now,
you can't
wait, one second. If I disrespected your girlfriend, my apology. I'm the first one. First of all, I'm the first one to apologize. If I do something wrong,
apologize to me.
Okay, wait. Hold on. Well, I'm sure she's listening. If I disrespected her, my apology. Because anyone knows me, I am not disrespectful. I hold everyone in the highest respect. I don't push myself around.
I was surprised at you, is all I'm saying. Me and you have a really good rapport. We discuss outside of things. When I considered you a friend, and I just felt like you buckled under pressure. Whatever that pressure was, I'm sympathetic to it. I respect that. But when you're talking about a RonFez.net party, and you talk about French bread pizza trying to get by a line to go say hello to Ronnie and Fezzy and everybody, I mean, you want to leave me out there, there's no problem. But you don't let Frenchie through the line. You should have had the common sense to realize.
Chris, let's just say this. Last year, Master Poe came out and danced all night and had fun. And you were invited just to come out and hang last week. But then when O&A came up, suddenly you're on the job, right?
Exactly.
And and so he had to get into Master Poe's zone.
It would have been nice. It would have been nice if I had a good time last night, but I didn't have a good time. Oh, I'm sorry, the night of the party. I would have had a great time because I think all you guys are, a great bunch of people, and the music was fantastic. The food, the whole atmosphere was great. But I didn't have fun. I had to step up. 1 second. I had to step up to the plate, and it was unfortunate that there were certain incidents there that I had to handle. And I wish that it could have been handled differently. I wish I had a VIP list in front of me. I didn't have that. I wish that someone came up to me and says, okay, Master Poe, we're going to assist you. I didn't have that. Okay, as far as me getting flustered, I didn't get flustered. The fact is that there was someone that was antagonizing Anthony. I had to handle that situation. Then there was this big moose supposedly going to attack Dave. I had to handle that.
Tara.
Anytime that I am at an event, it doesn't matter if I'm working or not. If I see someone or something happening, I'm going to step up. I'm not going to put my tail between the legs. Now, if I disrespected Frenchie with all my heart, I don't think I disrespected her. I think she got in the court of the line of fire because for 2 hours people were not listening. They were not paying attention to management. All they were doing was sitting and saying, yeah, we'll move, and they weren't moving. And when management came up to me and asked me, and then all of a sudden there was one of the guys that was the coordinator of the Ron and Fez party, I forgot his name, he said, can you assist me? Absolutely, no problem.
And I do appreciate that. I don't want you to think I don't understand that you have a hard job. And you know what? I apologize if I'm coming off too strong. Honestly, the party was great. It was a fantastic time. I think the radio genius, Mr. Ron Bennington, said it himself. It's VIP. There's no need for VIP. Maybe the creation of the VIP line in the first place, it might be at fault for this. But I just
Mikey Boy. Mikey Boy.
Yeah.
Why does that look like that you decide to put a couple tables aside, right?
Yeah.
Why did that infuriate people?
Well, I mean, actually, that's not what happened. I think what happened was, David asked us to have a couple tables available for people from the show where they could sit and eat if they wanted to, or they could keep bags and stuff.
Yeah, because I knew the O&A were going to be tired. They deserved to sit down. They fucking did a homeless shopping spree show.
And it really wasn't a VIP area per se. It was just an area reserved for those guys. And what happened was we had to expand that area when they did the drinking thing and sort of pull it out some. And it kind of people sort of took it as a VIP section. It started looking like a VIP section. People wanted to be on one side of the other side.
It doesn't even make sense.
No, it doesn't. And really,
why didn't they just shit can the drinking contest when it looked like the place was too big to pull it off?
Yeah, that probably was a good option. We had to get rid of, but probably would have been a good idea. In retrospect, that might have been exactly what we should have done.
I had a great time, man. I'm sorry for bringing the show down, Ronnie.
No, that's all right. Master Poe has every right to tell people what he goes to. You didn't even know you were going to be on the job that night, right, Master Poe?
No, I had no idea.
But if it pops up, it pops up. That's what he's got to do.
And I understand them. I appreciate the closure as well. I just thought the hand on the wrist and squeezing extra hard. I mean, you made the girl cry, so there was no question in my mind that there was some sort of disrespect. Maybe you were under pressure, but I do have some closure, and I'm, like I said, man, thanks a lot for letting me voice my opinion. I had a great time. Ron and Fez, thank you so much. Mikey Boy, great job. Eastside Dave, you look great, man. Better looking with the bald head.
Wait a second. Hold on for a second. I don't recall grabbing her wrist. First of all, there's no reason for me to grab anyone. Number one. Number two is, if a guy came up to me and he was 285 pounds and he was attacking me, oh yeah, then I'll grab his wrist and I'll do other things to place him.
Why would I lie?
All right, but
I mean,
I'm not saying that you're lying. But personally,
I don't think there was a lot of pressure there. That's all. There was a lot of pressure, and he might have done that without realizing it. And we were a little bit not forceful, but we did not expect to get stopped. And so, she was making her way, moving the pole, moving the string, getting underneath it, and it was just a little pressure, no big deal.
Can I say one thing in Master Poe's defense? I really was I didn't witness exactly what happened, but he was in a tough place because, he said that management was trying to clear out that area for 2 hours. I talked to some of the people who actually did get moved because I talked to them later in the night, not about that, but just that ended up coming up. And I don't think anybody had really gotten them to move or even explained to them that was going to happen. And so basically at that point we tried to explain it. This was news to them for the first time. And so, Poe, you were stuck in a pretty tough position where you had to try and get those people out. And I apologize that you got stuck doing that.
And that's quite all right. When I arrived, there was, I think, 5 other security guys. And all of a sudden, a blink of an eye, everyone was gone.
Yeah. And one of those security guys grabbed my coat when I started to go in because he didn't know who I was. So these things happen all the time. It was a fucking madhouse.
It was a great party. Those are signs of a great party, though, right? There's always got to be something kooky going on.
It was a fantastic party. I had a great time.
Definitely. Anyway, thanks, guys. I'm going to go order my McDonald's drive-thru.
All right. I'm fucking starving. Peace. Earl, we got any Big Macs back there or large fries?
We're fresh out, Ronnie.
So, Mikey Boy, you've been taking a lot of heat over this, even though you guys did a lot of work.
Well, we didn't take any heat. Just people complaining about different things. And I've tried to go on the board and sort of clarify that, different people, different groups were not at fault. And it was just a size thing and kind of a growing pains kind of thing. So, no, I mean, people have been pretty complimentary to me and to John and to Bobby.
Red dot him. Red dot! I never even heard this red dot term before.
Yeah, just basically means 86. Get rid of them.
Why not just use 86?
Because it's red dot's the new thing in town.
Hey, Pete, you're on Fez.
Hey, what's going on?
Yeah.
I was at the show on Saturday, and my buddy was trying to get his Inno signed by all 4 of the major stars of the 2 shows, and when he brought it to Ron had absolutely no idea what he was holding.
Well, I'm just talking to this part of it. I don't really know where it goes. All right, talk to you later. I'm glad I could sign it for him and make it valuable for eBay. Here's Martin. Martin, you're on Fez.
Hey, it's Martin.
Yeah.
From opieanthony.net.
How are you, pal?
Great. Just wanted to say, to Mikey Boy, thanks for a great party. I was actually on the table that got moved by Poe earlier, but we didn't know it was a big thing and people were trying to move us for 2 hours. And when Poe said move, we got up and we moved. And I think everybody at my table, at least this was earlier before the drinking contest, nobody thought Poe was an asshole or did anything wrong. So,
all right, there you go.
Thank you.
There you go, thanks.
And again, Poe didn't know he was going to be on the job, but when it's time to be on the job, there he goes. He didn't know.
I would have enjoyed dancing and having a great time that night, but...
Well, you look great.
You're known as a dancer. You are known as a dancer, Mr. Poe. Here's Keith the cop. Keith, how are you, pal?
I'm a little... I'm listening to the situation, and, at no point were we working, and I think there's a misconception here that maybe, myself being there and my guys being there from the event earlier in the day, that we were like responsible, you know, for taking some sort of action. And, you know, we were just there kind of to hang, and I think Opie was just there kind of to hang. And, you know, I don't want anything kind of pushed in our way. You know, I felt bad for the .NET guys that we showed up, and, you know, it seemed like there was all of a sudden this situation where, you know, they thought maybe, you know, the O&A people were kind of, and I don't want to speak on behalf of Ope or anything, that we were kind of taking over the area that we had. But,
not at all.
No.
But, you know, we weren't working, and I felt like, you know, we're being, not that we're being portrayed in a bad light, but sometimes I think Paul has to realize, you know, it's other people's responsibility when you leave the realm of, you know, your world of what you do. And we weren't there to be security. We were there to just hang. And, you know, sometimes you got to hang and you got to let the other people take care of it. You can't be stepping up all the time. And I think he stepped up in a place where he might have been wrong because people's feelings got hurt. And, you know, at the time it wasn't the right place.
You're saying Poe should have just went out and danced?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes, you know, there's a little overzealousness that I think sometimes, you know, you got to contain it. You got to be able to do it. And, you know, did I want to stay? Did I want to hang? I mean, he just said, you know, oh, there was 5 security people, and then all of a sudden we disappeared. But you know what? We weren't working. And, you know, we want to stay with our guys. We want to be with you guys. Of course, we are always looking out for what's going on, whether it be, you know, you guys or O&A. But, you know, sometimes when you're there to hang, and have a good time. And the responsibility fell on the bar to, you know, take care of the business at hand, and it shouldn't fall on, you know, him. And I think sometimes, Poe, you step up in the wrong spots, and I think that was the time that you stepped up in the wrong spot.
Well, I don't think so, because Anthony told me to stay with him. Anthony told me to protect him against a guy that was antagonizing him and harassing him. He asked me, and I did.
Plus, Just John wasn't getting the help that he needed and did ask Poe for some help in kind of clearing the area out.
Well, you know what? That's I guess, you know, then I'm speaking up in the wrong place. But you know what? I think that when you're a professional and you have to take care of business sometimes, you know, there becomes, you know, separate issues of liability and this and that. But, I mean, if you're a freelance vigilante, then, you know, you do what you got to do.
All right, Keith.
All right.
Thanks, buddy.
Bye.
866-RON-0-FEZ. 866-RON-0-FEZ. Oh, it's always something.
You know,
always something with these parties.
Every party, there's going to be some waves and whatnot. If you're going to surf, you have to surf over waves. You know what I'm saying? So to have a good time, you have to go through some bad things. And
I don't even know what you're talking about.
What I'm saying,
I don't think so. I say 99% of the people had a good time.
Exactly.
Had a lot of fun.
That's all.
1% of the people started bitching to Mikey Boy because, you know, he put together the prom, and then they didn't become prom queen.
Yeah, it was a wonderful party, and everyone was saying that.
Mikey Boy.
Yes.
Maybe next time it's just you and us, and that's the party.
All right. Works for me.
Bring your chick. Hey, by the way, what magazine is your chick in? I'm going to send one of the guys out to get me a copy today.
I think it's Better Homes and Gardens. It's in something else, too. It's in actually another magazine.
Is it in We Magazine?
No.
Okay. Better Homes and Gardens. And she's in what, the ad?
It's an ad for Hyundai, and it's actually going to be in a bunch of magazines. And it's, if you see it's a 2-page ad, and the first page is a bunch of dancers from Palabolas Dance Company, and they're sort of in the shape of a Hyundai. They sort of all in a big mass together, and then you turn the page, and the Hyundai's right there. And she's one of the dancers.
All right, we'll be looking for her.
McMahon and Tate came up with this ad.
Thank you very much.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, peace. 866-RON-0-FEZ. 866-RON-0-FEZ. Look who it is. Our buddy in the center of the storm. I'm looking on the Drudge Report today. It's Anthony. How you doing?
Hi. How you doing, guys?
What do you say, buddy?
Listening to the show.
Yeah.
Still listening to a little controversy with the party. I'm not even talking about the homeless shopping spree. The party, that's what Drudge needs to put up on
no more video.
Wow. Oh, my God. And let me just set something straight. There was some guy that was a complete pain in the fucking ass that needed to be dealt with. And it was Fezzy. He was right to my right all night. He wouldn't shut up. As far as security goes, Poe steps up. I I didn't feel at any point, my life was being threatened, but there was a couple of real drunk, annoying people. I never thought I was sitting in a VIP area. I thought I was in a corner, like me, my girlfriend, and Fezzi were shoved in a corner.
Right, that was it, buddy.
Little room as is humanly possible, just trying to talk to each other. A couple of times, anybody that came up and asked for a picture, Paul was, asking me, hey, you want to take pictures? I'm like, yeah, that's fine, man. I can get up and take a picture with the fans. But since it wasn't, where I was sitting wasn't really technically a VIP area, the people that would have been cool in there, didn't go in because they thought it was a VIP area. So the only people that were coming in were drunk assholes that didn't care.
Right.
So all of a sudden I'd get it was like a Tonight Show of drunk assholes. I'd look over to my left, hey, who's on the seat now? Oh, drunk asshole number 5. And he just babble, and you get these people, and if you don't pay the utmost attention to them, then you're the douchebag, you're the dick, and they start yelling at you. So at one point I had to ask Paul, could you please remove the knives from the table? Because I guess somebody was dining, and there was a screaming lunatic with a joint hanging out of his mouth and 2 knives in front of him. So I was like, Poe, I did ask for his assistance a couple of times, in that capacity. Or if there was another guy was just yelling, fuck you, to Dave as he was walking by. And I know that's kind of a common occurrence. So that was you?
Yeah.
But, and he was right next to me. He'd plopped down right next to me again. So I kind of, gave Poe the look. And I know Poe wasn't on the clock technically.
Yeah.
But, after the shopping spree and everything, and I'm no big guy, I'm not going to fucking get in a bar fight with somebody. So it was kind of nice to have him there to take care of that stuff. As far as anything else with him working access to a VIP section, I don't know nothing.
No, at the last second, they put up the smallest little piece of tape, and for whatever reason, because my chick was back in that area, Opie's chick brought some family. They were there. It was 3 tables, and we always need a place for Fez to sit. He's not going to stand up all night.
Right.
I ended up, once I got outside at one point, I never came back in. I just stood outside with the 200 people on the sidewalk smoking because I wasn't going to try to make it back through the pit.
No, I watched you through the window the whole night.
Yeah, I didn't see Ann all night. All night long, I never had a chance to talk to him. So it really did turn into a bizarre situation. But again, for Poe, he normally comes out and just dances, but since there were so many people, he watched out for his guys. I don't see anything crazy about it.
Yeah, there were a few instances where it was kind of nice to have him there, and it wasn't one of those things where I think there would have been a direct problem,
right?
But it would have been after the whole day, we had a busy day and everything, and Fezzi did too, and we're all just sitting in the corner trying to relax, have something to drink, and just kind of talk, and I like I said, I don't mind when people come up and ask for something signed, pictures, that's fine, but there were some real, just drunk, belligerent people that wouldn't shut the fuck up. And those people, you just, please, could you move along?
Now,
that's all.
Did you see Fez's video in the Drudge Report today?
Yes, I like that finally a face is being put to these homeless people. For every story that's coming out about this now, finally the face of the homeless. It was all you, Fezzi. I was laughing my ass off. I play the video, and I'm expecting to see, Red and a couple of the other guys, maybe slow motion, one of those guys, and it was you all over that tape. You are the face of this atrocity that we pulled, this horrible thing that the exploitation that we did for the homeless shopping spree. Finally, a face is put to these poor souls, and it's Fezzi's face.
And just hours of footage, and hundreds of cameras. Were there.
Hundreds of cameras.
How this 10-second clip?
And you with that hat and unshaven, there is no way
rambling.
you can tell somebody that you weren't homeless.
Rambling crazy talk. Yes, spraying perfume.
Yeah.
You was as bad. You really did belong on that trip.
I admit this. They didn't catch me in my best light.
Yeah, I think they did.
For technically, I guess at this point, not being homeless for the moment.
Right.
I say Can we put those up for an Academy Award? What's the criteria for acting? Because you're acting as a homeless person. There's not one person logging on to Drudge, clicking on that link that isn't going, oh, that poor son of a bitch.
I know. It's true. And they're probably going to try to get a hold of him to help him, to get him away from you guys. And then when they see what his fucking tax returns look like, it's going to rain shit on all of us.
Now I'm the little kid that they kept going back to in New Orleans outside the Superdome. That one little kid they kept interviewing who was homeless.
We need some help down here.
You know, I think Menino is sending a guy down personally just to count you.
Yeah,
I'm going to count you as an honorary Boston homeless person.
You know, the baggy clothes I get, the fucking stupid hat I get, but why did you piss yourself? What was the intention there? Was that just an accident?
You know, I cannot use a strange bathroom. And I was really far from home. I went before I left, but it was just too long of a day.
Yeah, because there was something like, I heard you stink in the audio, so it looked like people were degrading you, and he's not even one of the homeless. It's up on Drudge, and you know, once it hits Drudge, it's fact.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't matter.
And TV, probably local TV, will be picking that up now.
Oh,
it's humiliating.
Ladies and gentlemen, you may want to send the children out of the room. We have some disturbing footage of the homeless.
You're going to be like one of those beatdowns, like in the Miami Beach case, where they beat up the homeless.
Yeah, next I'm going to be on bum fights.
Bum fights. Yeah, they were comparing it to bum fights. I mean, you know, we took some homeless guys to the mall. They were able to shop like human beings. And, you know, we goof on them, sure. I was saying, we goof on everybody. But, you know, they went home with some warm clothes to cheers of thousands of people who spent money on these guys. To get these assholes that just read about it and then comment on what they read, you just want to smack them.
All kidding aside, Fezzi told me later that when he came off that bus and people were cheering like that for him, he said it was like one of the best moments ever. He felt like he won the championship. Like you came home with the Super Bowl trophy.
Yeah, the whole World Series, the players are getting off.
The problem was we had no trophy and we weren't in suits.
Yeah, but you smelled like you played a doubleheader.
I swear to God, this reminds me so much of when they thought Kramer was retarded and ended up having a dinner for him. I cannot believe that Fezzi is the face of the homeless.
What's going to happen next is I'm going to end up having to do some sort of news interview where I have to say, no, I wasn't exploited. I feel fine with this.
And you have to act, maybe they're going to want to take you around the city to show them where you live, and you're going to have to point in a box somewhere.
Right, you have to keep the lie going.
Yeah.
Then someone found your credit card.
It's not going to end. 6 months from now, Dateline NBC is going to want to know, how's he doing?
Oh, Tyra's going to want to, like, hang out with you and for a whole night.
Martin Sheen is sleeping next to you.
Of course. This is where he has to sleep on a nightly basis, people.
Maybe I'll be one of the
face of the homeless.
Maybe I'll end up getting invited to the State of the Union address, sitting up there by the First Lady.
Imagine that. And I'd like to point out a very special person that's here this evening. He was exploited by a radio program and just sitting there, and there's Fez. Fez's adorable face, the face of the homeless.
In my knit hat.
In your knit hat with your stubble. You can't shave. You got to get the George Michael 1980s razor. You're not going to be able to shave all the way down anymore.
You know, this all started a couple weekends ago with a misunderstanding with some listeners.
Basically, the funny thing is, that's how they said you were wandering around that store. Confused, not knowing what you were doing, and muttering to yourself. And when you watch that video, it's 100% you.
I had just got sprayed in the face with cologne by a homeless guy.
Imaginary cologne?
No, it was real.
Because you know how those guys, they're cologne in my face, and they think it's there, but it's not.
And then there was the other guy, the black guy walking around with that little wool hat on his head. Like a little Outer BC hat from...
Yeah, that was Big Pop, where for some reason...
You know all the guys now.
Yeah, he's friends with them.
Meet him down at the church for soup. Yeah, the receipt was actually bigger than the hat, but that was the guy who tried on the hat, and they just made him take it.
Right.
They just immediately put it on the check.
Yeah.
You touch it, you bought it.
Totally.
You did a great job, Fezzi.
Well, national exposure, that's all he wanted.
Now I'm on the Drudge Report.
For his plight.
Drudge Report, come on. You're sharing the front page with Judith Regan and all the big stories.
You know, if someone is going to get international press for their work with the homeless, it shouldn't be for being one of the homeless.
That is true. How many of these homeless organizations wish they had O&A's press?
Right.
You do not get this unless you put a little mustard on the ball. You gotta give it a little extra heat. If you're just going out there and going, we're collecting cans, no one gives a shit.
No one cares.
Yeah.
Right, you got to spice it up a little bit. And then we wind up getting, can Menino just leave already? Enough with the mayor of Boston.
How long does that go on?
What a grudge. The guy holds a grudge like a Sicilian.
He's like a Caesar himself. How long do you become mayor of Boston for?
There's obviously no term limit.
It is like the Pope. You got to die, and then something happens, a puff of smoke.
And there's a new mayor.
It's like, let's keep people from being turned into flapjacks in your tunnel by having steel plates fall on their car. And don't worry so much about the homeless in New York.
They were telling me today that he's going out counting the homeless in Boston. Why are you fucking counting them?
They're upset because, we're airing this on a day where they're counting the homeless. The fuck does that even mean?
Why would you count them? Pick them up. Help them.
Yes. Give them a coat. There's going to be some civil servant with a clipboard going 3, 4, 5, and for us to clothe them and feed them on that day is horrible. I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't get it either. It's crazy.
I know there was a busload of happy homeless being kicked out of the bus at the Port Authority in New York City when we pulled back into New York, each one carrying 3 or 4 shopping bags.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, those poor bastards are going to be worked over for those.
It would have been nice if the bus stopped when they were put out, but yeah.
Why waste the brake pads?
Yeah, that is true. The last thing you want to do is go laying down at night on the street somewhere with a diamond bracelet on your wrist.
I'd like to know how those $100 pair of Ray-Bans are holding up.
That was, to me, who got that? Because that was the most adorable.
Was that Papa Rock?
Yeah, Papa Rock decided to get those, and we just assumed that hours later there's just going to be a big, fat fist print right in them.
But it's so adorable to think, in his mind, maybe that's the only thing separating him from Tom Cruise. Maybe a good pair of Ray-Bans. Not some cheap-ass sunglasses. Nice pair of Ray-Bans is going to be the first step.
I know
Something tells me his underwear wouldn't be quite as white if he decided to do the dance, though.
I know it was a high-end mall to start with, but these guys, they were going for the cream of the crop on everything. There was no looking for any sort of 2-for-1 special. Just $200 pairs of sneakers.
The homeless turned into snobs the second they walked into that mall.
Better king for a day than smuck for a lifetime.
Very good, Rupert.
All right, Ant. Talk to you later, buddy.
Gentlemen, great job, and I'll be listening.
All right, peace out.
Later.
Oh, jeez. Here's the thing, too. You try to throw one of these parties for people. They make Mikey Boy feel bad. They make O&A feel bad. They make Dave feel bad. They make Poe feel bad. Why can't everybody be cool? What is fucking wrong with being cool?
I don't understand it. I don't understand the negativity that comes out of it. Where you can just go, you can relax, you can be friendly, and, like you said, cool.
Thank you, Fez. Thank you for summing it up in a way I never could.
Most of the people were.
I agree with you.
There's a couple bad apples.
99% of the people are cool.
Yeah, I even made amends just for 24 hours with Tony Bagels, of all people. Now today we're going to hate each other.
Earl, you got any bagels?
No, we're fresh out of bagels.
Fuck.
But just for that
bring
night.
up things that we don't have.
Okay. I'll call him Tony B. Just for that night. Now,
any honey back there? Fucking starving.
No, honey, sorry.
No one cares about your life, Dave. I'm glad that guy was yelling "fuck you" at you.
No,
whoever that guy was, I'd like to send him into the prize closet because he's got a piece of my heart. Who was that guy?
I don't know. I'd never seen him before. And I also got slapped with a sweater by a female who said, "Fuck you, Dave."
Your big problem is when you start being the gossip guy.
Yeah. This fun little segment really...
Everybody loved you until you became the gossip guy and you started out in people's relationships.
Right. Well, look, people have to be aware of the information. That's all board gossip tries to do. Just bring the information to the people.
Maybe no more parties.
If I was Mikey Boy, that's how I would feel. To go back to runfez.net and see negative posts?
Nothing against you, Fezzy, at all. Mikey Boy's a million times nicer person than you, though. That's the thing. He is literally a lovely guy who goes around and tries to make everybody feel good. I saw him on Fez.net. Some people were acting like they were mad at FBA for wearing their shirts. It's ridiculous. Somebody wrote in there like, they come walking around with their FBA shirts on, real classy. I'm like, what is this, the Sharks and the Jets of the fucking internet world? We're all adults.
No one can do anything right. Bam was there taking a lot of pictures, and then people were pissed off that he didn't take even more pictures.
Right.
It's like he took a whole shitload.
I felt like he took a lot of them.
Yeah.
Because I felt like he was paparazzi there for a while.
He was nonstop.
Bam's a good guy, too.
He is.
And he gets a lot of heat out there.
Yeah, he does. He gets unwarranted heat. He's a good guy. And he took a shitload of good pictures out there. You can't, he's entitled to have some fun, to have a couple of cocktails himself.
Sure. Who's to say?
Holy mackerel.
Master Poe, you okay now?
I'm fine. I was fine before.
You found yourself in the middle of the shooting gallery here, though.
Yeah, I got hit a couple of times. That's okay.
What are you going to do? I know one thing. You guys might not like it. We need a little table for Fez and one for my coat. I don't like fucking playing games with coats. Maybe it's because I'm Irish. I take a fucking coat off. I need a person responsible for it. I can't lay it down and act like, because I'm telling you right now, if I went back with my coat later and it wasn't there, I don't want to sound like an animal, I'll burn that fucking place down. It's the way I was raised.
All right, we'll get you the section then.
We'll have a VIP section just for your coat.
I would come home, my dad be like this, "Where's your fucking coat?" And I had to quick show him. I brought my coat back. He wanted to know the shit that he bought came back to the house. And that got instilled in me. I don't care if I had $50 million in the fucking bank. I need to know where that fucking coat is right now. I don't like a lot of people playing games around it. So we need a little table for Fez and my coat.
Okay.
Is that a problem? Fez needs to sit down. He's not a stander. Go to Drudge. Go to the video thing on Drudge. You see the shape he's in.
Standing's all right. It's walking I have a little trouble with, I guess.
Why were you limping?
I was staggered. Yeah. I had been caught flush in the eye with some cheap perfume.
God bless Anthony. He says, oh, the performance Fez puts on. It's just unbelievable. You don't know, Ant. The little times that you run into Fez, he's at the top of his game to impress you. Like all of us. All we want to do is get that quick laugh from Ant to feel better about ourselves. So for the little time and when the shows are switching, Fez is up and he's got a little line, he's ready to go. The staggering person that you see on the Drudge Report today is the guy who's wandering around Roosevelt Island. That's the real Fez.
I just need a little downtime like everybody. And with this video that's on the Drudge Report of me at the homeless shopping spree, I didn't even realize there was a camera in front of me for that one. I had no idea anyone was even filming.
That was No Filter Paul who got you, so you can thank him for the Drudge video.
Great, thanks, No Filter Paul.
There was all kinds of people hanging around you taking pictures, too.
Oh, yeah.
You look like a whale that washed up on the beach, and people were just standing over you taking pictures.
There was at least 2 people carrying around laptops with this whole microphone setup and everything, and it was unreal.
Back in our day, we didn't have any of that, did we, Earl? It was me and Muni and 33 and a third.
Those are the pal talkers, Earl.
Yeah, we had another guy with the DAT set up. He was doing play-by-play with the headset. He's like, "I'm here with Earl." He's like, "How does it feel?" And I'm like, "Who are you?" But we're having a good time and everything.
Earl, I did hear you in the middle of that show, and I was even telling Opie the other night. I go, you were going from call to call. There was no phone. I mean, when you listened to that thing back today, you saw how strong it was, and there was no phones falling out, which always happens to you in this business. And you know, when you're on the air, it's one of the things that you worry about. All that was going great. And then they grab Earl, and you just felt the blandness set in for 30 seconds.
What happened was Fez couldn't get a reception. We were in the sunglasses place. Fez couldn't get a reception. I can get a reception. I dialed into the show. I give Fez the phone. The next thing I know, Fez just goes, "Here, it's you, for you." And I'm like, I grabbed the phone.
Probably because you said it's Earl, so they put you up as Earl.
No, I'm specifically saying I'm here with Fez, and Fez is ready to go. And I give him the phone.
I know you couldn't hear it, Fez, but so I mean everything is Pop. We're going to Steve. Pop. We're going to Than. Pop. We're going to Danny. Everything is great. Norton and Ant are getting off all these great lines. It's really funny. Then suddenly I hear, "All right, let's go to Black Girl," and I hear, "In no way am I skiing down that hill. It's just not going to happen."
I'll let it go, Earl.
I'm not skiing. I haven't been feeling well. My stomach. The hell with it.
I was just totally caught off guard because Fez just answered.
There's a flat tire in the van.
Well, I was just completely caught off guard and stopped laughing.
You're a mess. We'll take a break.